And the premise of these modules is that they are highly configurable. So sort of terminology can be changed depending on your organisation and terminology that you use. But what this is providing is the benefit of having everything recorded in one place. You've got complete visibility and a robust audit trail. So when we land on this first page, we can see how many open events we've got. I can also see how many all events have been recorded in total, open investigations, we've got open and overdue actions. So all of the key things I'd want to see immediately to keep on track of what's happening around the organisation today are really visible for me to see just at a glance on the first page I land on. If I've got workflow actions assigned to me, I'm going to see those detailed for me to complete, and I can run searches or reports really easily from a click of a button as well. So the key thing from landing on here is that at a glance, you've got complete visibility of any incidents that are being reported in. The solution is able to be used on laptops, desktops, but also on tablets and mobile phones. And the screen size resolution automatically adapts depending on what device you're using. This means it's really easy for individuals within your organisation to report incidents, maybe on their phone, and submit those in very easily. And you've then got all of the data coming into a central repository through which we apply a sophisticated permissions model that ensures only the right people have access to the data. So particularly where we're recording and managing sensitive data around injured persons details, the permissions model is very powerful at ensuring that you're in control of who you do want to authorise access to that data and who you'd rather it was restricted from. So if we just have a look at creating an incident, whether you were doing this from logging in within the system, if you were doing it on a mobile phone, often you can scan a QR code or have a link on an intranet that will allow any employee in your organisation to submit an incident record in. The form will then guide the user on screen through what they need to complete. So the form will start off relatively small with just a few initial questions, depending on what types of incidents we want to record. If we picked an injury, that would then start to drop down a lot more information that we fill in. So we might want to pick the type of person that's injured. So if this was perhaps a visitor to our site, then we'd need to fill in their details. But if it was one of our employees or known contractors, we could pick from that list of data that we're holding. And that really ties that data back so that we can track very easily for that individual that is known to us, how many incidents have they been involved in, or how many training records do they have outstanding, or risk assessments have they completed. So all of the data will tie back to both the buildings and the people that are within our organisations. So completing the form will allow the user to guide them through exactly what they need to fill in, and they can pick from a variety of different drop downs. The choices within the drop-down menus are configurable by the client organisation, so that you can really tailor the requirements that you see based on your own organisation and the types of data that you want to gather and then analyse. And then once the record has initially been created and saved, email notification functionality exists, which will make sure that you're able to cascade and alert anybody in the organisation who should be informed that such an incident has occurred. And that will take away kind of manual paper trails of trying to email people, letting them know manually that things have occurred. The system will remove the sort of administrative burden of communication of these incidents for you. As we go into looking at a particular incident that has occurred, we can see we've got a summary at this level of the record. And we can also then attach any supporting documents. That could be photographs, witness statements, investigative reports, or any other bits of information and documentation that is collected. All of that can be uploaded and stored in a library file here. Actions can then be allocated out, and any number of actions can be allocated to different people around your business. They will again get an email notification advising them to close down an action. And That really ensures that you can see exactly the actions that you want to take after an incident occurring, and then the follow-up of that to ensure things are closed in a timely fashion. You can link in risk assessments from the complementary module, so that you've got a risk assessment available to that was valid at the time that this particular incident occurred. Again, building up your evidence file of everything that you know about this particular event. You can carry out your investigations and complete those. You can upload additional investigative reports into this area as well. And if you do need to make a RIDDOR submission, there is an electronic link with the HSE that will, once an authorised administrator of the system approves it, automatically communicate and send that RIDDOR report off to the HSE for you. In the unfortunate event that you should receive a claim coming in, even though that may be some time in the future, you will be able to come back to this area and you've got everything that you need in one place relating to an event. You'll also be able to log and store any details of claims, so that you've got absolutely everything relating to that particular event in one case file. And you've also got a full version control. So that audit history is really important to be able to demonstrate when this was first recorded and any changes that have been made by various users. So the system has an inbuilt version history that will keep a version of every change made and allows you to go back and check previous versions, who updated them, what they changed, and really demonstrate a sort of robust and compliant way of handling this data. So as the events are all collated, you're then able to kind of see at a glance statuses of where current ones are at. Some will have investigations pending, some are open and in progress, some have actions working through them. You can also see within the event module all details of any open or overdue actions. And a little bit later, we'll come on and have a look at how actions from a variety of modules can all be stored in one central place. So reporting can also be done throughout the system, as well as from that dashboard view that we looked at a few moments ago. Individual reports can be created. We're able to train super users within the system on how to use the report builder, so that puts control of that directly in your hands, and our teams are there to support you with building those reports. The report builder really allows you to build up a variety of different reports that will then allow you to pull data off of the system really easily. And the important thing there is that you know everybody is using a consolidated, streamlined set of data. You're not going to get lots of different interpretations of the way that data has been aggregated and recorded. So you've got a single version of the truth to report on. And once the reports are set up, applying runtime criteria on them is really easy, and that will give you a really quick way of running off reports that typically, if you need to do this manually, can be quite a time-consuming exercise to produce those.